say that spring will come again. No one knows exactly when. Still the sun's a long-lost friend on the longest night of the year. Stare into the firelight while December beats outside, where the darkest hearts reside on the longest night of the year. Keep me safe and hold me tight. Let the candle burn all night. Tomorrow, welcome back the night. It was the longest night of the year. I used to think the world was small, bright and shining like a ball. Seems I don't know much at all on the longest night of the year. Press our faces to the glass, see our little lives go past, wave to shadows that we cast on the longest night of the year. So keep me safe and hold me tight, let the candle burn all night. Tomorrow, welcome back the light. It was the longest night of the year. Make a vow when solstice comes, to find the light in everyone. Keep the faith and bang the drum on the longest night of the year. Keep me safe and hold me tight, let the candle burn all night. Tomorrow, welcome back the light on the longest night of the year. So keep me safe and hold me tight, let the candle burn all night. Tomorrow, welcome back the light after the longest night of the year.
Good morning. Can you hear me? My name is Sophie Twarkowski, and I will be the worship associate this morning. I use the pronouns she and hers. Welcome to the Unitarian Society of New Haven on the first day of winter, the winter solstice, when the sun will set today at 4:27 p.m. We came here this morning either in person or virtual from different paths, some linear, some circular, some even a maze. From different paths, our journeys are diverse, and so are our needs. Whatever prompted your decision to come, we welcome you. What you bring, who you are, enriches us. As we transition into winter and soon a new year, may we find time to let go of distractions, worries, and mental clutter. May we find time for quiet reflection and acts of kindness. We come into this space today finding a community that is strengthened by our diversity, courage, resilience, compassion, and collective power. A beacon of hope. We bring all that we are to this space. Our whole selves are welcome here. Before we join together in today's service, I have a few announcements. For a complete listing, please notice the monitor in the lobby or your newsletter. And a reminder that there won't be a newsletter for the next 2 weeks. The next newsletter will be out on January the 8th. There are 2 remaining worship services this year. This coming Wednesday, New Year's Eve, our service will be at 5:30. There will be a special collection at that service. It will be split between the Minister's Pastoral Fund and the Fairhaven Community Health Clinic. Please be generous in your donations. If you will not be here, you are able to make your donations through our website or by texting gift and the number in your order of service. There will be a service on Sunday, December 28th, which is our usual service at our usual time. It will be led by our ministerial intern, Jonathan Dean, and members of the worship committee. Our first service in the new year, Sunday, January 4, 2026, can't believe it, will be the question box service. If you remember from last year, this is your opportunity to submit any question that is on your mind that you would like Reverend Stephen to answer. Please submit your questions directly to Jamie at office@usnh.org. Do not send them to Stephen. He would not like to see them before the service on the 4th. He's going to be our Jimmy Kimmel. Good for Jimmy Kimmel. We have several designated areas for your comfort. As you remember, in the back space, we have a comfortable area for children and families so they can participate fully in our service. Also, the first 4 pews in front of the piano are if you require to wear masks. And then our social hall is wired for service if you should need to leave the service at any time. Finally, a reminder to please silence your devices as we take a calming, deep breath and settle in for our worship service.
This morning, it is my great pleasure to invite Lavender and Evie down to light our chalice as they come down and bring light into this space. We share words from Susan Cooper. I first heard these words in the Christmas revels out of Boston. Some of you may recognize them. So the shortest day came, and the year died. And everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing, to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. All the long echoes sing the same delight, this shortest day, as promise wakens in the sleeping land. They carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends, and hope for peace. And so do we, here, now, this year and every year. So say after me, welcome Yule.
Welcome Yule.
And now, my friends, let us rise in body or spirit and sing together hymn number 57, All Beautiful, the March of Days. If you have a joy in your heart this morning, we invite you to come forward and light a candle. If you are holding a sorrow, please come down and feel invited to put a stone or a shell into the water that we may hold its weight together. Number 57, All Beautiful, the March of Days.
Good morning. Want to add to Sophie's remarks, yes, a warm invitation to join us here Wednesday night for Christmas Eve. And also, I know that a lot of people are going to be on the road. And so there's a general blessing to all of us to travel safely, and we will see you in the new year. And welcome Yule. Stars are brightest at this midnight of the year, this time of cold. And we have gathered to light our candles, fragments of stars and sun, to light our hopes and dreams, to find an incandescent spirit in each of us when the stars are brightest in the midnight of the year. But we're also keenly aware. I was at a community religious service last Wednesday, and a sentence really jumped out at me. The minister said, "Jesus did not enter a sane world." And I thought, I don't think anything's changed. From Syria, Gaza, Sudan, to the Caribbean Sea, Venezuela, human beings are still human beings. And we desperately, desperately need to see that light, that incandescent spirit. John McCutcheon, years ago, wrote a song about the Christmas truce and soccer game played in France during World War I. And it has haunted me, and you may well be familiar with it. I'd like to share it with you now. My name is Francis Tolliver. I come from Liverpool. 2 years ago, the war was waiting for me after school. To Belgium and to Flanders, to Germany to here, I fought for king and country I hold dear. It was Christmas in the trenches, where the frost so bitter hung, and the frozen field of France was still, no Christmas song was sung. Our families back in England were toasting us that day, their brave and glorious lads so far away. I was lying with my messmates on the cold and rocky ground, when across the lines of battle came a most peculiar sound. Says I, now listen up me boys, each soldier strained to hear, as one young German voice sang out so clear. He's singing bloody well, you know, my partner says to me. And soon one by one, each German voice joined in the harmony. The cannons rested silent, the gas crowd whirled no more, as Christmas brought us respite from the war. And as soon as they were finished, a reverent pause was spent. God rest ye merry gentlemen, struck up some lads from Kent. And the next they sang was Steely Noct, 'Tis Silent Night, says I, and two tongues and one song filled up the sky. There's someone coming towards us, the front line sentry cried, and all sights were fixed on one lone figure trudging from their side, and his truce flag like a Christmas star shone on the plain so bright, as he bravely strode unarmed into the night. And then one by one on either side walked into no man's land. With neither gun nor bayonet, we met there hand in hand. We shared some secret brandy, and we wished each other well. In a flame-lit soccer game, we gave 'em hell. We traded chocolate, cigarettes, and photographs from home. These sons and fathers far away from families of their own. Young Sanders played his squeeze box, and they had a violin. This curious and unlikely band of men. Soon daylight stole upon us, and France was France once more. With sad farewells we each began to settle back to war. But the question haunted every heart that lived that wondrous night. Whose family have I fixed within my sight? It was Christmas in the trenches, where the frost so bitter hung. The frozen fields of France were warmed as songs of peace were sung. For the walls they'd kept between us to exact the work of war had been crumbled and were gone forevermore. My name is Francis Tolliver, in Liverpool I dwell. Each Christmas comes since World War I, I've learned its lessons well. But the ones who call the shots won't be among the dead and lame. And on both ends of the rifle, we're the same. It's been said for so long that a light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. And this is true. The world's inner power is exactly that light, eternal, inner, the world of peace. And we light our lights this season and on this solstice day to remind us that the darkness, no matter how powerful and persuasive it may seem at times, is less important, cannot overcome us when we remain faithful to each other and to that vision of a simple truce flag coming across the plains towards one another on a dark night with the light within. Happy solstice, everyone. Sophie?
Covenant lies at the center of how Unitarian Universalists gather in community. Our covenant that we recite each Sunday is unique to USNH. It unites us by the promise we make and how we will be together, how we will treat each other, and how we will seek to mend relationships when we fall short of our aspirations. Together we'll recite a brief version of our covenant. While the following words express our intentions in writing, our true covenant lives and breathes in our actions. May it guide our daily decisions. Please join me in reading the words that appear in your order of service or on the chat and the live stream. We covenant together to create and nurture a culture of respect and kindness, and to engage in the spiritual and everyday practice of loving more generously. To this end, we will strive to be open, value differences, listen deeply, use kind language, speak our truths, work with conflict, seek humor and joy.
What is the nature of time? Some might say they experience it as a straight line, the past behind, ever growing fainter, the future ahead, rolling out before us. Some might say that time is a series of moments. Each one, once it is past, ceases to exist. Some people might say that time is a circle, coming around and around again. Each of these ideas comes together for us in this space, on this day, as we realize that we experience time in a way that we apply to it. People have arranged their lives in such a way that time can curve, it can bend, it can cycle around. We have structured our lives around cycles, 7 o'clock routines each day, noon routines, bedtime routines. We structure our week around Sundays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and so on. We structure our year around January things, June things, December things. So perhaps in the curve, it is an apt metaphor to use the spiral. The spiral begins at a central point, moves around, we move along it, and as we come around, we see familiar ideas. Sunday things, Wednesday things, Tuesday things. We come around again each season to a January, to a June, to a December. And we can look past and see within it past Januaries, past Decembers, and we can say, I recognize what we have done before. I look forward to what will come around again, yet at each time, at each turn around, we will experience something we have never experienced before, a moment in time that is unique. We can glance inward, and we can experience an echo of the past. We can glance outward and see an intimation of the future. As we follow the seasons around once again, we have come to the winter solstice. Shortest day of the year, longest night. We have had winter solstices before. We will have them again. Each one a moment in time that, if we speed up, becomes a moving picture of life, of time, of our world, of our cosmos. And so let us take a moment in quiet together, and I invite you to move through the labyrinth of your own mind and see where it's at right now, what comes up for you as you contemplate the past and as you look forward to a future and solstices yet to come. Let us share silence together.
Every week, we lift up the spiritual value of generosity by taking an offering for the ministries of this congregation. We are an active faith community, both within our building and in the community. The need for your ongoing support is important. During the music interlude, the ushers will pass the collection plates for your donation. You can also text the word GIVE to the phone number in your order of service or donate at the USNH website. Your offering is received with gratitude.
Good morning. I am Terry Bonhorse Blackhawk. My pronouns are she and her. And my poem is Winter Solstice, Rosedale Park. I've cleared the walk of ice and snow, and now another fall reduces the world to black, white, shades of gray. Down the block, my neighbor's an abstraction. Shadow body with arms and shovel flinging snow through filmy air. Time was to mark this solstice, I'd step into the clear dark, cut fresh holly, set a single candle against a single pane. Today, a slow no stalls the season to a slow now. No rush flush of mind matter, no bright creatures fleshing themselves out onto fields of surprise or praise. Fog yesterday, snow today. Perhaps a third eye's on the pen while a second mind retrieves what the first mind's gone to sleep on. I write windy, mean weedy, think perch, write purchase. Each mistake makes more sense than slippage. And the finches I've tried to keep out of this poem, they're the ones seeking both purchase and perch. They cling to the maple's ragged bark, grip the cable the feeder swings from. Fierce, feathered hearts, they will not dissolve into the mute distance. And mind, dear, fierce, feathered mind, what will you find to hold on to?
On the first day that anyone could ever remember, the first day that it was worth telling stories about, on the first day the people awoke to brilliant sunshine shining on their faces, and they were filled with joy. They played out in that sunshine. They felt its warmth on their faces. And they did everything that their hearts desired in the warmth of that sunshine. But these people had never experienced a full day before. And much less than that, they were very, very surprised when at the end of that day, the sun began to apparently sink beneath the western horizon. And they were filled with fear as darkness overcame the land and as their world fell into night, which they did not have the word for to call it night. And during that long night, the people were filled with fear, with worry. Would that warmth that they had bathed in all day ever return? Was the sun gone forever? They did not know. And within that fear that they felt, they discovered a fear of darkness. They discovered a trepidation of what happens if this is the end of our world, the end of hope. But then they began to experience night things. They saw a fox creep across the land. They heard the hoot of an owl. They saw stars twinkling in the distance. And they discovered that though it was a long night and apparently devoid of hope, there was reason to find joy. And sure enough, the next morning, the sun peaked above the eastern horizon, and they began to believe that there would be day, and they began to anticipate with great joy the night. In the first year that anyone could ever remember, in the first year that anyone later told stories about, the people began their time in spring. There were shoots and leaves coming out of the trees. There was green grass. There were flowers. And they followed the season through as plants began to flourish, as fruits began to appear on trees, and through the summer they enjoyed the growing harvest. They enjoyed the world of green. They enjoyed all that the world had to offer them that was warm and good. But then, as autumn came, these things began to die away. And since it was the first time that anyone had ever experienced such things, the people began to worry. We have learned that there is day and night, and that day and night will cycle around. But what is this? Even though days continue to come and nights continue to come, we see our world dying around us. The leaves falling from the trees, the fruits shriveling on the vine. And when winter came, they were filled once again with great worry. But as winter wore on, they found that there were ways to find joy, to find light. They saw the stars more at night. They saw the moon reflect off the snow on the ground. They found that they could melt ice and pour maple syrup and enjoy a delicious treat. And as the year came around again and the snow began to melt and the leaves began to bud and the flowers emerged again, they realized that this too was a cycle. This too will come around again. In the first lifetime that anyone ever could remember. In the first lifetime that anyone later told stories about, there also were times of great joy and times of great sorrow. And the people who lived that life found that there were times when it seemed like the world was ending, like despair was all they knew. There were dark times. There were also times of great joy. And in that lifetime, there was a moment on a beach, far away from here, but not too far, where there had been a great storm. And in that storm, the wind had blown, the rain had come down harder than anyone had ever experienced before, and the waves had grown bigger than anyone had ever seen. And they crashed against the shoreline. And when that storm finally passed, and the sun rose, and it got warm, and the wind grew calm, the people went out to that beach, and they saw that 1,000,000 little creatures from the ocean, starfish, clams, fish, had washed up on the shore and were dying without the water that they needed to sustain them. And the people said, "This is another sign. This is truly the end. All of this life at once snuffed out. There is truly nothing we can do." But then one among them, a small child, made their way down to the sand and picked up one single starfish, and took that starfish to the edge of the water and waded out into the calm waves and placed that starfish below the waves. And the starfish began to slowly move and crawl away again. And this child went back and gathered another starfish carefully up in their hands and began to move toward the waves once again. And some of the people came down and they said, "How can you do this? Look at all of the creatures. Even if we all grabbed starfish all day long, we would never be able to rescue them all. What possible difference can you make in this world if you just pick up one starfish?" And the child carried the starfish that they held in their hands down to the water's edge, and they placed it into the water, and it began to move and crawl away. And the child looked at the crowd and said, "What I have done matters to that starfish. I have helped that one starfish to crawl away." And so, along the beach, people began to gather up single life forms, single clams, the remaining fish that were flopping in the sand, the starfish. And even though they could never rescue all of them, each one of them made a difference to that one creature that they brought back to the water's edge and placed lovingly into the waves. And perhaps what these people did not know was that further down the beach, another crowd had gathered, and another child was putting yet another starfish among the waves. And further up the beach, the other direction, another crowd had gathered and was placing their own starfish. And bit by bit, the ocean recuperated at least some of the life that it had lost to the storm. And so the cycle went on, life returned, and a difference was made for that one creature, that one moment, that one single life. Each of you, when you came into the sanctuary this morning, received a single candle. I would ask you to take that candle out at this time. We are going to sing a song together to bring our service, start to bring our service to a close towards our ritual. But as we sing, O Brother, Son, I'm going to ask each of you to think, what is your one starfish? What is the one thing that you can do to shine a light into this world on this darkest night of the year? What is that one thing you can do? And after we sing and we bring our service to a close, I will invite each of you to come forward and to place your candle into candle holders along our labyrinth. Invite you to walk the spiral as music plays. And together we might be able to put our little lights, our single starfish, together into one brilliant light of community. For now, as you contemplate, what is your little light? What is the thing that you do that might help bring a little bit more light to this world? I invite you to rise in body or spirit and to sing with us. I believe it's hymn 1066, O Brother, Son.
My friends, on this one day of the year, we do not extinguish our chalice. What we do is we pass the flame to each of you and invite you to bring it and to share it with this beloved community. Would you please join me in words in your order of service as we pass the flame? Carry forth this chalice flame, its illumination into our daily lives, its sustaining warmth into our relationships, the light of reason shining beyond these walls. May we carry the fire of hope in our hearts this day and in the week to come. And my friends, one by one, I invite you to come and move through our solstice spiral, placing your candle along it in any place, and then the next person will begin their journey through the labyrinth as the last person exits. Jackie and I will play some music, and when you are finished, we invite you to join us for fellowship in the social hall. Let us keep quiet in this space as we do this ritual, and if you do not have a candle, Cindy has some extras right here. Let us begin our journey through this next trip around the sun, here and now. Go in peace. Come forward, my friends.
I didn't know that.